Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 7. We are really moving fast, and next week is, as you know, is spring break, and that's a little bit odd in this particular course format, but we'll handle it just fine, just as you would normally would the spring break. You don't have to do any work in that week 8. But here are some announcements, just some reminders. March 16th is when the portfolios are posted. I've seen some of the portfolios and they're looking great. I'm not asking you to send them in to me. You don't need to for review, but if you want to, it's fine. And they are looking really good, the ones that I've seen. A couple of model portfolios up there, and they should be useful for you, and I hope you're enjoying the process. March 21st, just the Saturday after the portfolios go up, is the second face-to-face class, and I'm hoping that we won't have any kind of weather problems for that one. That'll be spring, so it should be okay. And then this is a reminder. I do this in all my classes. About this time of the year, I ask you to evaluate me. I mean, you get to do that at the end of the class too, but this gives me a chance at the middle to find out what you think maybe we could do differently for the rest of it, because we've had at least the entire other half of the semester left. So in my note to you, I give you my address. Well, I'll give it to you now. 300 Bishop's Court, Falls Church, Virginia, 22046. And all you have to do is just send me a note. You don't have to sign it. In fact, probably it's better if you didn't sign it. I wouldn't want you to feel that there's any kind of problem with that. But just send me a note and say things you think could be a little bit different, could be a little bit better, whatever is on your mind, and I'll be very glad to read it and more importantly, to react to it. So don't forget to do it. You don't have to do it, but I hope that you will be open to doing it. And the research paper, the reason I bring the research paper up is that when you're working on the portfolio, almost everybody who works on the portfolio says, wow, one of these topics I want to write my research paper about. You've got a lot of footnotes for it, so I mean, research papers usually have 15 or so or more footnotes in them. They're not terribly long. Yeah, remember I mentioned about 1,500 words maximum or minimum. You can look at it any way you want, and it should be a fairly pleasant occupation because by that time you've looked over a lot of material. So those are just 4 reminders, and as far as I can tell, we're moving well in the class. The posts are looking good. Okay, today's lesson, there's a lot of interesting material here, and the first one is a sleeper that you may not know much about. It's called the BOP, the bottom of the pyramid. And there was a professor at University of Michigan named Prahalad, whose paper I'm including at the beginning here. It's over 10 years old, but it's he's not alive anymore. But he pioneered the idea that there's this vast population of people. You know, the developed world is like 1 billion people total, and the world has over 7 billion. So he says, what about what he calls the bottom of the pyramid, which he lays out in sort of elegant academic terms in this article, but also it's a practical thing telling businesses how they might want to consider that group as a target, and that's been a basis of quite a few ICT developments as well. So I wanted you to see that. The next one is the EU digital agenda. It's based on a very large constellation of countries in Western Europe, a little bit of Eastern Europe. And it should be, I hope you'll find it interesting because it's kind of their plan for the next few years. The McKinnon presentation is a little bit strident, but good. I hope you'll find that as an example of how people can, and I think it fits in very nicely with the conversations going on right now about net neutrality. As you notice, it's a major political issue. Already some elements in the U.S. legislature are beginning to say we want to repeal that recent decision by the FCC on network neutrality. Tim Berners-Lee is considered to be definite internet royalty. He's one of the founders of the internet, and he's describing what he calls a Magna Carta for the web, a way of looking at the web in broad governmental terms. The Mancini presentation is, you'll have to judge for yourself, because I'm not putting these up there because necessarily I like them or I hope that you will like them. I'm putting them up there so you'll find them useful. The Negropunt article, I think you've seen before. I'm going to put it up there one more time because I think it's really good for appreciating the struggles that internet has faced, and also how some of the predictors and predictions have been right, Negroponte being one of the most uh, successful predictors. Piketty, you don't have to watch Piketty because I'm going to show him again, but he is probably the most influential economist of our current era right now, because he is the one who is basically saying, well, I'm not even going to tell you what he's saying because he'll explain it, but his view has been widely discussed, criticized by quite a few economists, and lauded, praised by many others. So you look at this is the real thing. This is Professor Piketty describing his famous book. It made the bestseller list recently and has been a very powerful influence. And he gives us a little bouillon cube, a capsule of what's going on. And finally, you don't have to read it. In fact, on my note to you this week, I give you a summary of it, and I gave you a link to the entire article if you want to look at it last week. So all I'm giving you is a quick summary of that. It's on SS Social Science Research Network, but the summary may be helpful. He's basically saying that this U.S. economic growth, which a lot of people think was fostered by information and communications technology, ICT, he's basically saying it really wasn't fostered so much by ICT, and the ICT revolution is just about over. That is, the innovation from it is diminishing drastically. So it's not exactly a happy thought, because he's saying the idea of steady economic growth is not natural, and ICT isn't helping it much. So that ought to give you enough to keep your mind in a good state as far as this course is concerned. I hope you find them all interesting, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. But don't forget to contact me. I'm very available. You even have my address now, my home address, so you can contact me lots of ways, and I hope you'll be open to doing that. Thanks for being in the course, and I hope everything's going well for you. That's it. Bye.